Rolex is great, but these 10 watches are genius. 2025 edition. Rolex. The crown, the legend, the watch that made the world fall in love with the tick of time. But here's the truth. While Rolex stands tall in the spotlight, there are timepieces quietly rewriting the rules. They're not just keeping time, they're bending it, shaping it, making you see it in ways you never imagined. In 2025, we've seen a wave of innovation so bold, so daring, it makes even the mighty Rolex take a second glance. Today, we're counting down 10 watches that are pure genius, from breathtaking mechanics to designs that flirt with the impossible. And hey, before we dive in, if you're as obsessed with watches as we are, make sure to hit that subscribe button, tap the like icon, and ring the bell so you won't miss the next time we explore the world's most fascinating timepieces. Trust me, number 10 will already make you whisper, how did they even do that? Ranked 10th, Zenith Defy 21. Double tourbillon. There are watches, and then there are experiences you wear on your wrist. The Zenith Defy 21. Double tourbillon doesn't just tell you the time politely, it blows your perception of time away. Inside this futuristic machine are two tourbillons. One is a quiet heartbeat, ticking away at 5 hertz, keeping your everyday moments steady and precise. The other, a comet that blazes at 50 hertz, dedicated to the chronograph function, cutting time into hundredths of a second at a speed your eyes can barely keep up with. Thanks to the skeleton dial, you don't just see the time, you witness the choreography. The two cages rotate in defiance of gravity. The gears mesh like poetry. The balance wheel flashes like sparks in the dark. The case is forged from lightweight titanium, with sharp angles and an industrial texture. So even with all these crazy mechanical details, it feels like a second skin. The moment you put it on, you feel it. This is not just a watch, it is a statement. It tells the world that you are not just measuring time, you are also controlling it. And this is the important thing. You don't just look at the Defy 21 double tourbillon. You stop, you breathe, you watch each second explode into precision, and in that moment you realize you are holding a living, breathing, mechanical genius on your wrist. Ranked 9th, Quadruple Forsey, double Balancier, Convexe. There are watches you glance at, and then there are watches that pull you in, make you forget where you are, and keep you staring until the world outside fades. The Quadruple Forsey, double Balancier Convexe belongs to that rare second category. Quadruple Forsey isn't in the business of good enough. They chase precision like a sculptor chases perfection in marble, patiently, relentlessly, obsessively. The result? A movement that doesn't just keep time, it refines it, moment by moment, beat by beat. Look through the crystal and you'll see an entire microcosm unfolding. Bridges shaped like architectural beams, finished with painstaking hand polishing. Wheels and pinions turning with a rhythm that feels less like mechanics and more like a heartbeat. And there, the two balance wheels rocking in a slow, hypnotic duet, each one compensating for the other's imperfections. The convex case curves gracefully over the wrist, making a large, complex watch feel uncannily comfortable. It's titanium, lightweight yet commanding, and every surface is finished with contrasts of satin brushing and mirror polishing that catch the light like ripples on water. When you tilt it under the sun, the case dances between shadow and shine, a reminder that this is wearable art. But perhaps the most genius thing about the double Balancier Convexe is what it does to you over time. At first, you wear it to own it. Then you realize it's the other way around. It owns your attention. You'll find yourself pausing mid-conversation just to glance down and watch the balance wheels sway, like pendulums marking not seconds but moments. In a world obsessed with racing against the clock, the double Balancier Convexe offers a quiet rebellion. A lesson that precision isn't about rushing, it's about harmony. And that is a kind of genius Rolex would nod to and respect. Ranked 8th, Hublot MP-05 LaFerrari. Some watches are inspired by cars. The Hublot MP-05 LaFerrari feels like it is a car, just miniaturized to fit on your wrist. From the moment you see it, you know this is no ordinary timepiece. The case is shaped like the engine bay of a hypercar, with a central spine housing 11 mainspring barrels lined up in series, delivering an insane 50 days of power reserve. That's the world record for a hand-wound tourbillon watch. Time is displayed vertically with rotating anodized aluminum cylinders for hours and minutes on one side, and the massive power reserve indicator running down the other, like a fuel gauge for your watch. At the base, the tourbillon sits exposed, spinning like the high-revving heart of an F1 engine. The entire movement, comprising over 600 components, is suspended inside a sapphire and titanium chassis, with every part visible like an open-engine supercar. Winding it isn't done through a crown. Instead, you use a special electric tool inspired by a pit lane drill, making the whole experience feel like servicing a race machine. Wearing the MP-05 LaFerrari isn't about subtlety, it's about adrenaline. It's the mechanical equivalent of pressing your foot to the floor and hearing an engine roar. In a world of traditional round watches, this one doesn't just break the mold, it burns rubber on it. Ranked 7th, Tag Heuer Monaco. Some watches don't just keep time. The Tag Heuer Monaco doesn't just measure moments, it celebrates them. The Monaco is iconic. It made history when Steve McQueen wore it in the film Le Mans in 1971, forever tying it to the world of motorsport. But the Monaco isn't just a movie star. It's a technical masterpiece that stood the test of time with its bold square design and chronograph function that was ahead of its time. Inside the Monaco beats the Caliber 11, an automatic chronograph movement with a unique automatic winding system that ensures precision for racing drivers and enthusiasts alike. The two subdials for the chronograph function sit proudly on the dial, offering clear readings of the elapsed time, while the date display adds a touch of practicality to this beautifully designed piece. The 39mm square case in stainless steel is instantly recognizable, with its sharp angles and racing-inspired design. The sapphire crystal ensures clarity, while the leather strap adds a rugged touch to the luxury watch. But the genius of the Monaco isn't just in its design, it's how it has evolved while staying true to its motorsport roots. Its square shape defied convention when it was first introduced, and that rebellious spirit still shines through today, reminding us that true innovation doesn't always follow the rules. Wearing the Tag Heuer Monaco isn't just about owning a watch, it's about embracing the spirit of racing, precision, and rebellion, all while keeping time with a piece of history. Ranked 6th, Nardin Freak S. Some watches are worn. The Nardin Freak S is unleashed. The first time you see it, you might not even recognize it as a watch. There are no hands, no dial in the traditional sense, just a sculptural movement spanning the entire face, slowly orbiting like a mechanical spaceship tracking the hours and minutes. Here, the movement itself is the hand. At its heart are two inclined balance wheels set at an angle, connected by a differential that blends their timing into one ultra-precise heartbeat. They're suspended like twin reactors, glowing under the light, each oscillation a pulse of controlled chaos. The entire assembly rotates once per hour, with the tip marking the minutes while the base tracks the hours. The case, in black DLC titanium with rose gold accents, feels more like a futuristic instrument than a traditional watch. Its architecture is bold yet balanced, with curved lugs that hug the wrist and a domed sapphire crystal, giving you a full panoramic view of the movement's choreography. And then there's the winding and setting system, no crown. Instead, you wind it by rotating the case back and set the time with the bezel. Every interaction feels intentional, almost ceremonial, as if you're not just adjusting a watch but engaging in a mechanical ritual. On the wrist, the Freak S isn't subtle. It's a statement. It tells the world you're not bound by tradition. You embrace innovation, risk, and artistry. This is horology at its most fearless, where the line between watch and kinetic sculpture disappears. In a world where most watches look alike, the Freak S dares to look like nothing else, and that's what makes it unforgettable. Ranked 5th, Patek Philippe Calatrava. Among all dress watches, few hold the quiet authority of the Patek Philippe Calatrava. Introduced in 1932, it has stood for nearly a century as the definition of timeless elegance, unmoved by trends, immune to passing fashions. The dial is a study in perfect proportions, Slender dauphine or leaf-shaped hands sweep across applied gold markers, set against a backdrop of flawless enamel, satin-finished opaline, or intricate guilloche. Powering this simplicity is one of Patek Philippe's meticulously crafted in-house calibers. Through the sapphire caseback, the movement reveals its artistry. Bridges adorned with Côtes de Genève, polished bevels catching the light, blued screws seated in gold châtains, and a solid 21-karat gold rotor engraved with the Calatrava cross. It's mechanical poetry, meant as much for the owner's eyes as for telling the hour. The case, typically in precious metals, measures between 36 millimeters and 39 millimeters for most models, striking a perfect balance between presence and subtlety. The slim profile slips effortlessly under a cuff, while the gentle curvature of the lugs ensures comfort for all-day wear. On the wrist, it feels like silk and sits like a natural extension of the wearer's style. It represents a belief that true luxury is not about shouting for attention, but about rewarding the one who wears it with quiet satisfaction. It's for those who value heritage over hype and who understand that elegance is not something you chase, it's something you carry. Owning a Calatrava is like owning a piece of horological eternity. It's not just a purchase, it's an heirloom, a timepiece you live with, grow old with, and eventually pass on, knowing it will be just as beautiful in another 100 years as it is today. Ranked fourth, Quadruple Forsey Quadruple Tourbillon. If the Calatrava whispers elegance, the Quadruple Forsey Quadruple Tourbillon roars mechanical mastery. This watch doesn't just challenge gravity, it overwhelms it with brute force ingenuity. 4 tourbillons, arranged in 2 double tourbillon systems, work together to average out positional errors, delivering a level of precision that borders on obsessive. Each double tourbillon has one cage rotating every minute inside another inclined cage that rotates every 4 minutes. A hypnotic ballet of gears and balance wheels, all working in harmony. The dial is an open theater, showing you the spectacle from every angle. 2 massive inclined tourbillon assemblies dominate the lower half, their motion mirrored yet independent, connected through a spherical differential at the heart of the movement. Around them, the rest of the dial is alive with hand-finished bridges, frosted main plates, and polished steel components gleaming under the light. Flip it over, and the finishing is no less breathtaking. Every bevel is mirror-polished, every screw slot is perfectly aligned, and every surface, whether visible or hidden, has been given the same obsessive attention. The movement alone requires hundreds of hours of manual decoration, because for Quadruple Forsey, excellence isn't negotiable. It's the only option. On the wrist, the 43.5 millimeter case is surprisingly wearable. Crafted from titanium or precious metal, its curved lugs hugging the arm like it was custom made for you. Yet it carries undeniable presence, a conversation starter that can stop even seasoned collectors mid-sentence. The Quadruple Tourbillon is not a watch you simply own. It's a declaration, a statement that you don't just appreciate fine watchmaking, you demand it at its very peak. In the hierarchy of horology, this is the kind of piece that earns a place not just in collections, but in history. Ranked third, FP Journe Astronomic Souveraine. Some watches tell the time. The FP Journe Astronomic Souveraine tells the story of time. This isn't just a high complication watch, it's a celestial instrument you can wear. It combines 18 complications, from a minute repeater and tourbillon to sidereal time, sunrise and sunset indicators, moon phase, annual calendar, and even the equation of time. Every function is presented with the clarity and elegance that define François-Paul Journe's work. No clutter, no gimmicks, just pure watchmaking intelligence. The dial feels like a miniature universe. On one side, the tourbillon rotates in its cage, quietly fighting gravity. On the other, the sunrise, sunset apertures open and close like eyelids, reflecting the rhythms of the real world. The moon phase disc is painted with astronomical precision, while the sidereal time display lets you read time by the stars, not the sun. Flip it over, and the movement is a sculpture in rose gold. Bridges curve gracefully, wheels mesh with perfect geometry, and every bevel is mirror polished by hand. It's a reminder that while the watch can chart the heavens, its beauty is entirely earthly. What makes the Astronomic Souveraine genius isn't just its mechanical complexity, it's how it connects you to the cosmic cycles that govern life itself. You don't just wear it to know the hour. You wear it to feel the turning of the earth, the pull of the moon, and the march of the stars above. In a way, it's less of a watch and more of a reminder. You're part of something far bigger than yourself. Ranked second, MBF Horological Machine number 9. Flow. Some watches keep time. The MBF HM9. Flow doesn't just keep it, it lets it fly. Look at it once and you'll never mistake it for anything else. The HM9 looks less like a watch and more like a jet engine ripped out of a 1950s fighter plane and shrunk to fit on your wrist. Its biomorphic titanium case curves like a stream of air, with twin pods housing balance wheels on either side, like mechanical turbines humming in harmony. At the center, a differential merges the timing of both balances into one heartbeat, a feat of engineering that borders on science fiction. The time itself is displayed on a sapphire crystal pod at the front, angled perfectly so you can read it without twisting your wrist, like a pilot checking instruments mid-flight. Flip it over, and the hand-finished movement gleams like an exposed jet engine, every gear and wheel aligned with obsessive artistry. On the wrist, the HM9 doesn't feel like jewelry. It feels like propulsion. It's bold, it's aerodynamic, it's unapologetically radical. The strap anchors it comfortably, but make no mistake, this is not a watch you blend in with. It's a watch that makes strangers stop mid-sentence just to ask, "What is that?" The genius of the HM9 Flow is in how it transforms watchmaking into sculpture and movement into art. It isn't just about telling hours and minutes, it's about wearing imagination, strapping innovation to your wrist, and letting time take flight. In first place, Lange and Söhne triple split. If every watch in this list is a chapter, the Lange and Söhne triple split is the exclamation mark at the very end, the kind written in platinum ink underlined twice. This is not just a chronograph. It's the only mechanical wristwatch in history that can measure comparative times up to 12 hours with split seconds precision. Imagine timing not just 2 sprinters across 100 meters, but 2 marathon runners across an entire race, and still capturing every heartbeat of difference down to the last fraction of a second. That is what the triple split achieves. Inside the 43mm white gold case beats the caliber L132.1, a movement so complex it looks like a miniature cathedral of gears, levers, and springs. Over 560 hand-finished components, each chamfered, polished, and engraved by master artisans in glashütte, work together in a ballet of mechanical choreography. On the dial, you see not chaos, but order. 3 rattrapante hands, seconds, minutes, and hours, ready to split at the push of a button. Start them, and they run in unison. Press again, and one pauses while the other continues, letting you record 2 times independently across hours, not just seconds. Reset, and they snap back with the crisp authority of perfect mechanics. And that's the genius. The triple split takes one of watchmaking's most challenging complications, the split seconds chronograph, and pushes it to a place no one else dared to go. It is innovation wrapped in restraint, complexity hidden under the quiet elegance that defines Lange. On the wrist, it is heavy yet reassuring, refined yet intimidating, and above all, humbling. Because owning the triple split isn't just about measuring time, it's about understanding how far human hands can push the boundaries of what's possible. This isn't just a watch, it's a statement etched in gears and gold, a reminder that in horology there are limits. And then there is Lange, showing us that limits are meant to be split, 3 times over. And there you have it, the 10 genius watches of 2025. Each one in its own way pushes the limits of what a timepiece can be, whether it's bending physics, making time sing, or preserving centuries-old craftsmanship in a single heartbeat. Rolex may always hold its place as a legend, but genius? Genius lives in moments like these, where creativity, engineering, and artistry collide. These watches don't just measure time, They redefine our relationship with it. Now I want to hear from you. Which one captured your imagination the most? Was it the architectural wonder, the mechanical magician, or the tourbillon that spins like a miniature galaxy? Drop your pick in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey through the minds of horology's finest, make sure to hit like, tap subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the next countdown. Because here, we don't just talk about watches, we live them, we breathe them, and sometimes we even dream in TikTok.